setting up right now, but we probably are live and just don't know it.
Okay. Did you end up getting snow?
We did. So it was blizzardy last night. The winds were terrible. Big trees were coming down and everything. And yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So the kids are home, or my kid is home from school.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Yep, we're live. Sweet. Okay.
Yay.
Open it on my phone so we can answer questions as they come, and we'll see if anybody joins us here.
Okay.
Awesome sauce. All right. I'm going to chit chat for a minute and see if people pop on.
Sounds
a lot
good.
of people in the Midwest are probably busy with kids being home in the blizzard, but
yes.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Lisa Zimmer, doTERRA Diamond. It is November 26th. November 26th today. All right. I'm not seeing people pop on yet. All right. Doesn't mean anything. Facebook's been quirky for the last couple weeks, about driving me nuts. All right, so we have a guest speaker today, and I'm super excited to introduce Karen Painter. Karen is a silver and has had some pretty good experiences with switching to the Zimmer systems just like not even 2 months ago, really.
Right.
Crazy good. All right. Yeah. Oh, yay. Caitlin's on. So it's working. Happy Monday, Caitlin. All right. Let's chat a couple. I'm going to babble a couple more minutes, Karen, just because people are just coming on. Hey, Julie. I think I met Julie at convention. Oh my gosh. Julie made her profile picture. Her and I at convention. I love it. That's hilarious. You're the best. All right. So it'll probably be a quiet day. A lot of people will probably watch this back later.
Yeah.
I want everyone to hear how quickly you can implement the Zimmer system and get results, because Karen is 100% new to it, had never heard of me before. Hey, Nikki. And I want her to be able to share with you. And I don't know Karen. Nope. we just met.
Yes.
5 minutes ago. And I asked Karen to join us today because she sent or posted a testimonial in BizTips. And I'm going to read it to you, and then you'll see why I invited her to join us today. We love your testimonials. And then I want her to elaborate more on her experience. So those of you that are just starting and haven't implemented anything yet, or those of you that are thinking about starting the Zimmer system and aren't sure, you can hear firsthand from Karen what she did. All right, so the testimonial she posted was this. Hi, Lisa. I just started teaching your way. I am a duct tape silver and have been a pretty high enroller at times. In the last 6 months, people were not really responding to holding classes previous to your method. This has changed. Last night, I had my third make and take. I walked away with $50 in my pocket, 2 enrollments, and 1 was a natural solutions kit and a booking for a holiday make and take. Plus, I currently have 7 make and takes on my November calendar. 7. Lots of exclamation points. Yeah. I have never had that many classes in 1 month. Thank you for helping me see that I can continue to do this business just by making a few changes. That was like the most perfect testimonial, because it really was a perfect example of all we're asking people to do is a few minor tweaks to what they do now. No huge investment. What would you say? Well, you know what? Let me just let you start, and then I'll interrupt and ask you questions as we go. So Karen, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself? And where I was going with that is I want people to know you don't have to spend a lot on the Zimmer system. They get into the website and just start buying. And I really want people, when they start, get the trifold, master the 60-second enrollment script, get 1 or 2 make and takes, maybe the intro handout, which is new since you started doing this even, and start with that, kill it, and grow. But tell us what you started, how you came to hear about me, and all that good stuff.
So on the plane to convention, my upline and I flew together, but we were not seated together. So we get off the plane, we land in Salt Lake, and she says, oh my gosh, I heard about this Lisa Zimmer and her system, and the girl beside me just couldn't stop talking about it. And I looked at her and said, there are so many systems. Like, I'm done with systems. Like, we're going to see a system person talk about a system tomorrow.
Not another system.
Right. And I said, no, I just can't even. So convention goes by, we're all in such a great mood leaving convention, and it was great. And then I'm in the Premier and Silvers group, and your name comes up again. And somebody had posted the Realtors Trifold. And I was like, oh, what's that? Because a trifold to me seems like an easy piece to carry in your purse. Nobody wants to see your business card. They don't hold that. They don't keep that. That ends up in the trash or on their desk in a pile. But the trifold to me was like, it has information. It has your sales information. It has oils information. It has the kits. And that to me was huge. So I was like, okay, well, I clicked to your site and I saw the Realtors Trifold, and I was like, but wait, there's more. I saw just the regular trifold, and I was like, so I call my upline back and I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, I see the light on this whole Zimmer system.
I see the light.
Yes.
That needs to be our new cover photo. I see the light.
Exactly. And I was like, it's so much easier. And I needed to make some type of change, but I needed it to be an easy change. I didn't want to have tear pads. And like, I think I heard you say at one point, like, I have a drawer full of tear pads, and I've started just sending them to people like, hi, here's a care package from me. Here's 15 tear pad sheets because you might be interested in this. But I needed something I could carry in my purse, or I could just, have in my book
email
bag.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and even just the back of it, just that part that tells how you enroll yourself, and it has my website and then my number on it. I've enrolled more people easier from that one piece of paper than ever before, because it would be like, well, here, do this and then do this. And I almost like purchased a website because it would have walked them right to the exact kit. But that would have been $150 to $175 just for them to design it for me. So I was like, no. This is easy. This is just a piece of paper that you take a picture of and you send it someone on Facebook or email and text, and they enroll themselves, which has been amazing.
I might have to clip this part of the video and blast it everywhere.
Okay. But I did want to say to people that I am a duct tape silver. Like, I am a silver on a BOGO month up until this point, because I have not had the luxury of having builders see the same vision as I have. But now my builders have seen the Zimmer way, and they're like, oh,
I can do that.
Right. Oh, I could do this every month at my house. I could just have a standing make and take. And I was like, yes, exactly.
Because people actually want to come now.
Yes. That's
miraculous.
Yes. Right. So that has been huge change for my business, and has been amazing to see people that I call builders, but I would really say they were just really great sharers. And now they've kind of stepped into, oh, I could do this like you do this, because this is doable. Where before it was, how much information can Karen pull out of her brain standing at a class? And that is not something that they can do, and they're intimidated by.
Yep. It's the kiss of death.
Right. Exactly.
We think we're fabulous.
Yes, we do.
We are fabulous. Let me reword that. We are fabulous. But for those of us that are fabulous, we have to stop being fabulous.
Yeah.
Start being duplicatable. And this helps us refrain from being that fabulous and all that crazy stuff in our head, and helps keep us under control too, to remain duplicatable for them. Yeah. Right. Love it.
And, when I said I was a high enroller, I just wanted people to know, like, I won the incentive trip. Like, I have been that level of an enroller, and then got to a point in my business where I was ready to walk away. because it was just feeling too hard.
Too
And
hard.
it was too, like I was reaching out to people who weren't receptive with what I was offering as far as like a class. And I had tapped out my warm market twice over and enrolled obviously all of them because I won that incentive trip. And now it's different, because now when you approach people about, let's do a make and take, they don't see it as, I have to invite my friends over to buy a $150 kit and I don't want that pressure for them. They see it as, I want my friends to come and spend $5, and if they choose a $150 kit or more or even less, that's an option.
Yep. It completely transforms the whole psychology of our system.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was, they were tapped out because it was a sales presentation.
Yeah.
Hey, come to my sales presentation. Hey, you've already been to my boring sales presentation. Now bring your friends so I can manipulate them into buying something. And which isn't what it was. You know, we always had the mindset of, we really are just helping people.
Of course.
But perception is reality.
Yeah.
And their perception was, this is another sales pitch, and I really don't want to sit for an hour to 2 hours for another sales pitch. Then when we changed it to make and take, which really is just fun. If they order a kit, fabulous. If they don't order a kit, fabulous. They're still getting these oils in their home and on their bodies, and then we'll fall in love with it.
Right.
And I'm just so excited. So I'm excited for you. Sorry, keep going.
So I just want to also say, I had a make and take in an area that was a pretty rural area of West Virginia. And, you know, they were receptive to a $5 time. And most of them spent $25 and $30 on rollers per person. And the hostess felt like this was doable for her group of people. And she was already enrolled. She's on LRP. Like, she loves her oils, but she knew price wise, it wasn't in a price point that a lot of her friends might be comfortable with. But I did end up getting enrollments from that class later on, because like you said, they used their rollers, they went home and they were like, I need this. I will make room in my budget for this. I can't do it today. I have to plan for it, but I need it. And
they will make that choice.
Yes, they did. And one of my girls is a teacher, and she's like, I wanted to get permission to diffuse in my classroom. She's like, and I had to send a letter home to every parent, and they all agreed. So now she's diffusing on guard every day in her classroom.
That's a teacher, sharer, or builder right there.
Yes.
Someone that's going to take that step to make sure that doTERRA's in their life and in their classroom. That would do that. Ooh, I like that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a good sign.
That's been really good. Yes.
I love all the signs. I'm always watching for the signs.
Yes.
Who's got potential to impact and change the world? And that is someone that can do it, because she's already changing the world just in her classroom.
Right.
And improving the quality of life and health of those 20 students or whatever she has. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Love that power. Love that power.
Yeah.
So tell me I want to hear more about, what did you do to get the first make and take rolling? So like, how did you get people there after this dry spell?
So I just had it at my own house, because I had always hosted a monthly, what I called cocktails and oils, which was just a night to come and have, you know, fellowship with friends. And we talk about oils, and it often leaked into people talking about oils that they had that maybe somebody else in the room didn't. So I just kind of changed that event and made it a make and take. And I had new people come who had never experienced oils before, because they were with friends of people that I had enrolled. So then I just put it out to my general users group, like, I'm going to have this here. You don't have to bring anything. I supply it all. And that day there was probably only like 5 or 6 people here, and I made over $100. And I was like, right. And for me, who had been kind of on, anytime I didn't have an enrollment at a class, I always had this feeling of, this was a waste of time. This was a waste of gas. This was, you know, time away from my family, which they tend to not be happy if I'm away and then I'm not coming home and saying, this was amazing. I enrolled all these people, you know. if I come home and say, oh, well, there were no enrollments, they're like, well, we missed you. We were doing this and we were doing that. And
You missed out, mom. Or yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Right. So, when that happened, I was instantly like, okay, now, even though there wasn't necessarily an enrollment, what there was is a cost for my time and my supplies that made it worthwhile.
Mhm.
So it's not so much of that down feeling when you don't get an enrollment. At least you walk away with the benefit of something in your pocket.
Yep. What did you see come from that class from the people that were members? What were the positives even without enrollments?
Yeah. So it was interesting because the members, they had these oils and they just didn't realize that they could put them together to have these rollers. And I was like, but I've been doing videos on how to use them all individually. And they said, yeah, but having it all in a roller is a different, it's already there. I don't have to think about it. It's ease of use.
And it's a single piece of paper with recipes right there.
Yes.
They get it if it's
Yes.
laid out just right. Because I had this discussion with somebody else recently, and they were all like, I have stacks and stacks and stacks of make and takes, and nothing ever did
Yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what's different? I'm like, that's what's different. We're just different. It's so hard to put into words what's different, but it's just enough information to tell a story. People need a whole story, like start here, do this next. They need like the baby steps, and then just enough recipes to bring them to life, to get them to see the light, but not have to put it all together themselves, like a recipe, you know, with a really expensive oil, and then recipes with really inexpensive oils, and all different prices, and so much oil that they can't possibly go through it fast enough, that they need to refill. Like so many little pieces put together in just one single little piece of paper that pulls it together in their brain for them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, that was salesy, but I just get excited.
No, it is. I mean, I've had other tear pads that have recipes on them, but it wasn't laid out like having the picture of the kits, because that kind of puts that in their minds. Like, when I'm making these, and of course I draw their attention to it as well. When you're making these, this is what kit has these oils in it. Or maybe you add a balance or a serenity to that. But this is what you would need to refill your roller once it's empty, because you don't have to come back to another make and take. You can do this at home.
And save even more.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So so you booked 7 classes for November. So tell us about that, right? How did you get people to book the classes from the classes and get that momentum going? Because it's people that, so here's the fear factor, right? People are stalled out, you know, because their classes were boring. They tapped out of their warm market, blah, 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 blah. How'd you get that? How'd you push that boulder back up to the top of that hill and get that ball rolling?
Well, and then I think booking the classes from classes is so much easier now. It was not easy before at all. I mean, I felt like I was giving, here, do you want an oil? Here, I'll give you 2 oils. Like, what can I give you to have a class for me? Like,
here's my kid.
Right, exactly. I have 3. Would you like one? Like, it's so much easier now because people are experiencing something, and it's that almost that multi-sensory learning, which I'm a teacher by trade. So I understand why people attach that type of instruction. And when you allow them to do something and make something, they have a whole nother level of understanding. And then that experience is like, it's like giving experience Christmas presents. We like them because we got to do something and it was that feeling that we had. When you have the experience of making your own roller, that's much easier to sell to someone. Would you have a class and we can do this? Then would you have the experience of me standing in front of you and talking for 45 minutes and then you deciding whether, it's different.
It is different. It's funny you say that, because that's what we switched to in our family was experience holidays.
Yes.
So like for birthdays, it's an experience. And then for like the toys, my son stays up all year and buys his own, you know, video games or whatever. So that's funny because it really is way more impactful and the memories are so much bigger. But so I thought about that when we did, when we transitioned to making takes, but it really is such a bigger impact. We started with our very first transition to making takes was basically a trifold. It was just the class in a box. I condensed it to a single piece of paper, and it wasn't folded in 3 yet. It was just a single piece of paper. I knew that had to be done. And then I knew we had to add the how to enroll yourself, right? Had to be done. Had to have every component on there so that people that were new didn't have to think about anything. I needed triggers, everything. And then there was a pause in the middle where we talked about aromatic, topical, and internal. And I'd say, take a break.
Yeah.
This was step 1. And make a roller in front of everyone and show them how. Or even draw someone's name at that time and say, you won. Tell me what you like a roller for, like sleep, whatever. And then just make sure that the roller you make in front of everyone is oils from the top 10. So they can see that they need it, right? So if it's sleep, lavender, breathe, and frank, or whatever. If it's comforts, deep blue, frank, and lavender and peppermint, whatever. And I saw that transform to more enrollments and more people on LRP simply because they got to see us do it.
Yeah.
And that was like step 1 to the transformation of the make and take. And then, like I said, my first make and take, it was like, 16 people or whatever. And I was like, what's happening? So how have people, so in the class, right, your LRPs are improving? Yes?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, and people who maybe ran out of an oil before, when they come to the make and take and they're making their roller, they're like, oh, I didn't know you could use oregano in the balm, or melaleuca. I think it was melaleuca was the specific one. I didn't know you could use melaleuca in the balm. I've only been using it on my face for like acne or something. And I was like, oh no, like you really need that during cold and flu season. And that kind of helped transition into LRPs as well, because now they're thinking of other ways to use their oils. But still, it goes back to the experience. Like I have told them this before, but it didn't sink in and keep in their memory until they did the experience of making their roller.
Yeah, I love it. So tell me about which make and take handouts you've done. Was the first one the essentials?
I've only done the essentials. I love it because it covers so much that I feel like you are hitting on all the needs of most people, because right now it's cold and flu, or we just talked about digestion a lot because of Thanksgiving, and sleep and stress is just huge year round. So I have my holiday make and take for not this coming weekend, but next weekend. And my people are extremely excited about it.
That'll be fun.
Yes. So that is coming up. And I usually did something holiday related for customers and things like that. But this time I made it like, this is a make and take. So you bring your friends, like
bring everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, make teacher gifts, make bus driver gifts, make a gift for yourself, whatever you need. We'll take it. Yep.
For $5. For those of you just starting out and getting the holiday make and take, there's a lot on the holiday make and take. We did that intentionally. You don't have to offer all of those things. In fact, there's diffuser recipe examples. That's just an example. That's stuff you can put in your diffuser at your event. You don't make samples of the diffuser recipes. We wanted to have the holiday make and take be more, so you could pick and choose from the stash that you have and work with that. So for example, I don't even know how many oils are on there, but say there's 20 oils on there. You don't need all 20 oils, and you don't need to offer them. So like on the list where it's like scrubs or whatever, and choose from these oils, I just go to my stash and see, hey, what did I get for free this last year? Right? Or what do I have too many bottles of because I overbought, BOGOs, or like, we want this to be a positive, profitable, simple experience for you. And the customers don't know that they're not getting to pick from 50 million different things, right? They really don't care. As long as they get to pick, 1 or 2 choices from there, they're good to go. And but it's just like you said, again, that hands-on experience.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the holiday in forms that everyone can use,
Yep.
sprays, salts, scrubs, whatever. But the same thing, there's a method to the madness.
Mm-hmm.
Oils are chosen and how they're all put together so
Right.
that they will decide and still enroll.
Yes.
It's the best of both worlds. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for you.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are new here too, like, don't panic about having all the bells and whistles. We just found an Australian partner for labels. I don't have her website memorized yet, but I did post that. And we have our US label person, only the essentials shop.com. But up until we found these people, I did like a sticker. So if someone made a scrub and it had aroma touch in it, it got an aroma touch sticker, bottle top sticker on it. Like, it doesn't have to be fancy. People don't care about all the bells and whistles. Just tie some Christmas ribbon around it and they are good to go.
Yep.
So it doesn't have to be nutty. Just keep it simple. I mean, the labels are fabulous. I did get the labels this year and they're way cute. But point being, if somebody's on a budget, like, just start small. So have your builders started duplicating yet? Like handing out trifolds? Are they at that? Because this has all come together pretty fast for you.
Yes. So at one of my make and takes where the person actually purchased the natural solutions kit, that particular one, that girl decided to start building after that class. So she is doing her first make and take in December using the holiday make and take. And she said to me, I think I want to make some in advance. And I said, you'd be okay making some because they're going to have it at like a shop. So space is a little limited. I said, but they have to do some on their own, even if it's just one, and maybe they're going to purchase 3 or 4. You have to give them that experience of making it because they'll see, other people will be there and see somebody making it and come over and say, what are you doing? And that is engagement that you want. You don't want to just stand there and be like, here are some rollers you can buy. Yeah. People will see other people making them and be curious, and that will pique their interest. And then you'll have loads of people standing around you wanting to see and know. Yeah.
And for doTERRA compliance policy, we can't sell packaged goods like made up ahead of time. But even if she just has one of everything for people that are visual and need to see it first, and which is someone like me. So get that one of each on display. Here, smell this. Here, touch this. Okay, make your own.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's ideal. Because otherwise, it's going to be a cash and carry transaction. Right. Which, again, is not compliant. But even for just explaining about why people don't want to do it anyway, they're not going to get that engagement with you for that connection, that relationship starter. Now it's just, oh, I bought this from that lady. Right. Exactly. And that does not turn into a doTERRA lifestyle. Right. And so we want to be careful that we, even like with my 60-second enrollment, right? The key element of my 60-second enrollment is getting them to talk about them to me. Because that is relationship building, the whole listening and interaction part, and it's not just a transactional sale. Right. So even just these teeny tiny pieces are like the main element of why we've set things up the way we've set them up. So when she's getting started, help her see the difference. Yeah. One, not compliant, but two, we don't want a transactional sale. Right. Even if it's a 60-second experience. Oh, awesome. Come over here. Okay, Karen, tell me what you got going on. Oh, this would be perfect for you. And now all of a sudden there's a relationship. This lady's listening to me. This lady is engaged in me, and they're more likely to remember her name. Yes. More likely to keep that trifold when it's not just, grab that scrub. Right. $5. So that's exciting. So that's what I really want people to see from this is not just enrollments, not just cash in pocket, but it is the foundation for kickstarting your whole business when your team starts seeing the light and
Mm-hmm.
duplicating you.
Yeah.
That is the whole doTERRA business. People get so focused on enrollments and they miss step 2 or step 3, I like to call it. So 1 is enrolling, 2 is getting people on LRP and falling in love with the product, and 3 is duplicating.
Right.
And everybody gets to Premier or Silver.
Yep.
Taps out, right? Because I see it every day in the Premier and Silver board and the Gold and Platinum board, even Gold and Platinums. I was all the way to Diamond, and people still weren't excited about duplicating or doing things on their own without me at Diamond. And all of a sudden, with this system, people found their independence, they felt empowered in their own business to actually start duplicating without us. In fact, now what you're going to find, if you keep going and just keep it simple, same thing, help people get the trifold, learn the 60-second enrollment, host the make and take, get them added and tagged in the FAQ system, repeat. Like, just keep it that simple and repeat. Now, with every video I do, every make and take we do, everything we do, I make sure and tell people it's so easy. You can help your own friends and family get your own account. No big deal. Here's trifolds. And we've got customers duplicating in places, other states who I've never met. They won a prize, on like a weekly giveaway. And I threw trifolds in with their prize and said, hey, hand these out to your friends and you get more free stuff. And they are.
Yeah.
And so that's where we went from, like, when somebody said, I want to share and build, and it turned into this big thing, right? And nothing ever happened. Now it's the opposite. There is no big thing. There is no, like, big launch, right? Because that's pressure. There's like, hey, hand out these trifolds, and they do, and they win, in their minds. They have a winning moment, and they're like, well, that was easy. There's no pressure. There's no spotlight. There's no, if you don't get any enrollments, you suck. It's like, it's all positive, and it's like every level. And I want people to remember that's what we're here for. A builder does not have to be this amazing teacher, of 16 million events. It just has to be someone who just talks to people, hands out trifolds, has some fun classes, and keeps going.
Yep.
And that's what you're going to see more of. I'm excited for you. You're going to see a lot of your members start turning into not just the new ones,
right?
Even the ones that have been with you for years. And that's what feels so good.
Yes.
To see in your back office.
Right. And they're in love with the product. I don't have to worry about that part. I mean, those are the people I really would love to turn into builders because they love doTERRA.
Easy. They already got the hard part done, which is people with their oils. So now it's like, now the hard part is keeping their mouth shut because they get so excited about everything they know, and they start and that's where that trifold, I'm like, don't say anything, just hand trifold. Hand trifold, say, love my oils, here's the best way to go, and point to it, and that's it.
Yes.
Rate them in.
Well, even I have had a lot of success because I was doing that. Somebody would say, I want oils for anxiety. And I would run down a list. Well, you could use this or you could use this. And like, I give them a list of like 6 things, right? Now I just hand them the trifold or email it to them. And I say, I think this would be the best kit for you. Enough. I don't say anything else. No. If they ask me another question, then I'll expand on, well, balance is in that kit. I think it would be great. But otherwise, that's it. I just say, this would be the best kit for you.
Because that's all they really need to know. That's all their brain can process.
Right. And it works. I mean, they enroll themselves. So,
it's like, mic drop.
Yes. It's awesome.
Well, I am so excited for you, Karen. I'm excited that it reminds me of my getting started with doTERRA. Like, my friend was brave enough to say to me, hey, here's this catalog about these oils. I think you should hear about it. And it's the same thing with biz tips, because this is a whole new world for people. Everything we do is a little different. And people fear change, just like we went from being pill poppers to oilers, right? That's a huge change. This is going from this system that we've been trained, which is a decent system, but it just was too hard.
Yeah.
To having someone on the plane be brave enough to say to your upline, hey,
Yeah.
there's this Lisa Zimmer.
Yes.
And we all respond with, you know, when my friend said oils, I was like, you must be joking, right? And you were like, you've got to be kidding, not another system. I love it. Well, that's where I want people, push through with your oils and don't be afraid to tell people about it. Push through with the Zimmer system and don't be afraid to tell people about it, because we are changing how doTERRA is done, and we are excited about it because we are excited to get these kind of testimonials like you posted. That's what we want to see, because that's where we were, you know, at Diamond and ready to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Because I could go back to real estate and, you know, my first year make double what I made as a diamond. And back 2 years ago. And we had to find our fun. We had to find the excitement. And now, do you find like at every make and take, there really is some sort of excitement or high in everyone? Whether it's them saying, oh, so-and-so just told me about this lifelong vitality pack, so I want to get on LRP now and get that lifelong vitality pack. Like, it's like, oh, like, there's always something. Or that a customer who's like, well, that was easy. Can I just hand these out for my friends to do what you do, but not really do the business?
Right.
Yes. And it's just nice to have that little reward, whether it's an enrollment or not an enrollment, but those validating moments that, hey, this is really how I want to spend the rest of my life, sharing doTERRA and changing the world. So, well, I sure appreciate your time today, Karen. That was fantastic. And I can't wait for other people to get excited. So how did you end up for the month? Tell us about that.
So, cash wise, I was well over like $300, which, you know, that helps me buy more supplies for more make and take. So it's not necessarily like I was using that money for other items that were necessary, but if you need it for that, then it's there for that too. I mean, that's always a bonus. I think so far this month I have 5 enrollments, and 2 of them literally were just me sending the photo of the back of I mean, they weren't even with me. They just emailed me like, a friend told me about you and I want oils and how can you help me? And I said, took a picture. Before I sent it, I said, what were you looking for oils for? Health and wellness. Well, this kit's the best one for you. And they enrolled themselves twice. Right?
I used to get paralyzed with that question, and I'd be like, and then sometimes I wouldn't even respond because I'd be so busy, like, what do I say this time? And I would forget. It would get buried again. I'd be like, oh. And now it's like, bing, bang, boom, done.
Yes. And now I feel like I need a trifold in like 3 rooms of my house, because I'll have my phone and I'll be like, you know, somewhere else, and somebody will say, well, what do I, you know, how do I enroll? Hold on. I have to go find my trifold and take a picture. Now I have a picture saved in my phone.
Okay, good. As I say, save one in album, so you're good to go, and get your little information in there and you're good to go. How are you doing with silver? So how did you pan out with BOGOs and holiday, and how did this month come out for rank for you?
So BOGOs, I did something a little different. I had been the BOGO queen. Like, everybody send their order to me. I'm going to collect them all. And then I'm going to ship BOGOs all over the United States. Well, I decided this year I'm not doing that. So I said, if you do not live in my immediate area, you need to order on your own account. Well, I had 2 legs, like astronomically on their own, do well over 3,000, like closer to 4,000, which was amazing. And then I have another leg that is short. So we're working on that. It's only like 500 PV, which in the scheme
of did it this week.
That's nothing, right? So we're working on that. And I sent incentives out to my own builders and said, look, you know, there's this 50 PV doTERRA's going to give you. Like, you can't do better than getting a paycheck for Fast Start and 50 PV. Like, we can get this done. So,
so excited. So now next time you'll know to do that for everyone, right?
Right.
Local or not local.
Right. Yes. I'm weaning them off of my BOGO mess because I mean, it had been before insane. Like,
So
and
much
I was at the post office all the time shipping them. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, they have to order on their own account.
Yep. It's best for them. It's best for you.
Yes.
Best for everybody. Yay. Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm very excited for you. All right. We'll go ahead and wrap up. And then if anybody has any questions, post in the comments and I'll come back and answer them. And I think that's all we have for today. So thanks, Karen. I sure appreciate it. All right. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. Bye, everybody. Happy oiling.
Bye.